I suggest.
Participle clauses.
Yes, I suggest. Let's talk about participle clauses, shall we? So you may zoom out, Ksenia, if you like, in order to see with your own eyes the whole details, every detail of this idea. So let's talk business then. As you may see, we have participle clauses of condition, time, reason. Some authors provide us with the idea that we can also have participle clause of result. But frankly speaking, I have never heard, I have never seen about participle clauses of result, but this is not the case. So as you can see from our tablet, we have 5 basic forms of our participle clauses. You see, we have in the Russian language the idea of причастный, депричастный оборот. For example, я стояла у окна, задумавшись о своей жизни. You see? In the English language, we have the very same idea. We are going to use our participle, and we are going to use it after verb. For example, Ksenia sat on her settee, listening to the explanation carefully. You see, Ksenia sat, it is one action, and another action is that you are listening, or you were listening to me. You see? So instead of say, of course, you may say, Ksenia sat at the settee, full point. Ksenia listened to the explanation, full point. But this is not the case. You see, you may create beautiful, amazing sentences by just trying to combine these two ideas. So she sat, comma, listening to some explanations. And in this case, we are going to use our present participle simple active, as you can see from our tablet. The basic form is very simple, very, I would say, threadbare in its nature. Ask plus ing. So we are taking the base form of verb. Ask, asking. Go, going. And add ing form. You see, but in this case we need to use one verb. She went, asking. Она шла и спрашивала. So she went, and at the same time she asked. So could you please give me your own example, make up your own example, just try to use our present participle simple active form. Will you please?
She talked with him listening music.
Yes, definitely. She talked to him listening to some music. Why not? Why not? Also, you may use present participle simple passive when you mean that the action is directed to this subject. So the subject is not itself or himself or herself who has done something. No. For example, being asked, Marina provided with the answer. Being asked, Marina provided with the answer. То есть, когда Марину спросили, она привела пример. So you see, in this case, we're going to use passive structure, passive participle. What about your own example? So could you please make it up? Be bored.
Начал водить.
All right. So in this case, машина, будучи купленной, да, вошла в обиход. Something like the car, the automobile, being bought. Yes, being bought became the part of our everyday usage objects, right? So became the part of our everyday usage objects. So of course it's very dodgy example, but why not? Why not? What about your life? For example, just try to interpret the following sentence from the Russian into English. Мой босс, будучи спрошенным, дал мне ответ.
My boss to be
Been
asking.
Being. You see, here we have been. Asked.
Been asking.
Asked.
My boss being asked. Answer me.
Answered.
Answered to me.
Yes, answered. He answered. Superb. You see, you need to memorize the following structure. You're going to use all the time be plus ing, been. It is basic, so it is fixed. You cannot change it. Plus the third form of irregular verbs. Третья форма неправильного глагола. The third form of irregular verbs. Been asked, been bought, been understood, been realized, something like that. But I would say that I personally prefer to use present participle perfect active. And in this case, as you can see from this tablet below, we are going to use have plus ing plus the third form of irregular verb. Having asked, having done. So you see, I love using this structure. Why? Simply because you demonstrate your understanding of the difference, for example, the similitude between the time of one action and another action. For example, having done this project, I decided to have rest. Только после того, как я сделала свой проект, I arrived at the decision of taking some good rest, right? Taking some nap, for example. What about your example? Your instance?
Only have reading the instructions, I began to use this thing.
In this case, after or only or simply having read instructions,
only having read the instructions, I began using.
So only when having read instructions, only when having, because you need to provide something more additional. It's not enough for us. It's not clear from this idea. I see. So yes, definitely. Also, you are going to use form number 4. I usually call this structure PPP. Why? Because present participle perfect passive, PPP. So it is going to be a little bit complex, especially for natives. So having been asked, but nevertheless they use it, especially educated natives. So we are talking here about passive structure. After have, we are going to use ing form, having. After that, we are going to use the third form of the verb be, been, having been. It is going to be intact, нетронутый, all the same. So it will remain the same. And after that, you are going to use your past participle, having been asked. Marina walked away. Когда Марину спросили, она пошла прочь. Something like that. What about your own sentence?
When I haven't been read the book, I understood all.
You see, the first idea, you may drop all your conjunctions. Все ваши союзы вы можете выбросить. So the idea number 1. Of course, we will talk about conjunctions a little bit later, but nevertheless. Idea number 2. Here we have, Ksenia, be careful, here we have passive structure. We do not have active structure. No. We have passive, and the idea should also be passive. So you can just try to paraphrase your sentence, because you provide passive idea with the active idea. So you combined it. You have made an amalgam of these ideas. So paraphrase it, please. Will you please?
When the book hasn't been read.
When, drop it. The book, comma, having been read.
Haven't been read. I understand all.
No. It is impossible to say that. Impossible. Even in the Russian language. Книга, будучи прочтенной, я поняла все. So this is how you sound in the English language right now. You see? Very awkward, very strange. So let me give you idea. Idea number 1. We talk about passive, so therefore we need to use this passive structure. So book having been read, and we need to provide additional information about this passive idea. So you cannot add another subject after that and to say something inactive. No, it would be strange. If you're going to use passive, please use passive. Provide some ideas.
Influence on me. The book, book haven't been read, influence on me.
Yes, influenced me. Once again, we do not use after influence the preposition on. Do you remember?
Yeah, influenced me.
Yes, influenced me. Yes, superb. The book, having been read, influenced me. Or just try to use, for example, having been asked, I decided to answer. Right? Когда меня спросили, я приняла решение ответить. You see, in this case, you may use your subject, ваше подлежащее, after this participle structure, after PPP, present participle perfect passive, right? So, having been done, Marina walked away. Having been, for example, having been discussed, the topic was of no longer interest for us, something like that. And idea number 5 about participle. It is already the idea that is familiar.